I think the next people who should go to the White House are Pokimane and Jameela Jamil.
Let's go. Okay, actually, speaking of Jameela Jamil, we have Jameela Jamil here. She's complaining again.
Oh, what's new for Jameela Jamil?
Well, okay, so she has a disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and basically it makes her skin stretchy, right?
It makes her joints hypermobile, and it makes them like pop out of their sockets, and it makes your skin have like extra elasticity. And I think it gets worse as you get older. But anyway, she made this TikTok trying to raise awareness about it.
I'm so sick of people talking about how like.
Can we show the TikTok?
Yes. Is this? Oh no, it's just the photo.
No.
God, that photo is.
It's kind of terrifying. It reminds me of that character in Doctor Who.
Yes.
That was like, moisturize me.
Hold please.
So she got bullied in the comments on this TikTok because it's Jameela Jamil and she's not likable.
I'll just play it from here.
Well, look, my face. Look at how elastic that is. The reason it is so elastic is because I have something called EDS. That is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have EDS3, HEDS3, and it's the H is because I'm so hypermobile. It pertains to my joints. As you can see, nothing bends the right way. Everything bends the right and wrong way. And yes, that is very sexy. Thanks for asking. I want to talk about it in spite of the fact that people like to make fun of me over my health, because it's a really serious condition and it impacts.
They're obsessed with being wronged by people.
Do they make fun of you over your health?
Or
do they just make fun of you because you're Jameela Jamil?
And because you're annoying as hell.
And you're annoying.
Your body, and it even affects your mind. And it's very dangerous to not know if you have it, because of the way that it impacts bruising, bleeding, healing. If you want to have a baby, it's so important that your doctor knows if you have EDS, because it makes pregnancy so much more complicated, childbirth.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. This is irrelevant. People in the comments
made fun of her
because they don't like her because it's the internet, and that's how the internet works. Pokimane should learn a thing or two from this example. And now she's saying that the backlash made her suicidal.
Dude, get off the freaking internet.
Just put the phone down.
I have read...
Where's Tyler, the Creator, when you need him?
I've read annoying, mean comments about me in just the last couple of days. Guess what? Nobody saying anything has ever made me feel like I wanted to... Like, did you see the video of the lady who's like, calls the comedian racist?
No.
Because he's like, I'm the most pro-anti-Trump comedian.
The guy's name is Troy Bond, and he said, I'm the most pro-anti-Trump comedian.
And
but because this audience member heard the word Trump, she just like went into attack mode and started yelling at him.
And what stuck with me about that piece was he said, there's nothing you can say to me that I haven't said 3 inches from the mirror. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing you can say to me that I have not, like, I have harmed myself in so many ways in my life, and I have done myself so many disservices by the way I treated myself, by my own issues with self-esteem. There's nothing you can say to me, likely, that's going to be worse than the things I've thought about myself, but that does not make me suicidal. And if you're going to choose to be a public figure, if you're going to put yourself out there in the world, you have to accept that the internet is always going to internet. And you're not going to be able to change that. That does not make you better than these people. And they cloak it in some type of cause, right? Well, I'm just drawing awareness to this really, really unique, rare condition that I have. Let's just be kind to each other. And remember, just like empaths, there's nobody meaner to other people than somebody who says, just be kind.
And that's exactly the type of person she is. My take is that, yes, getting bullied or trolled online is par for the course as a public figure. But on top of that, Jameela Jamil has made a habit of being as obnoxious as possible on the internet. And she antagonizes others more often than not.
On purpose.
And then invites this type of response.
It's a cry bully. She's a cry bully.
Like when it comes to She-Hulk, she'll just say, like, take that, you incels. She-Hulk is a girl boss, and, you know, what are you going to do about it? Stay mad. Like, you antagonize other people and then cry out as they strike you back. Like, if you make a habit of being a widely disliked person on the internet, I don't blame you for it. Say whatever opinions you have, but accept the consequences and don't act like a victim. So here's what she said in her caption. The internet made fun of me over my health problems, and it made me suicidal for a while, but they're just a bunch of ignorant arseholes who haven't 100th of our strength. They can't imagine surviving what we survive, so they choose to gaslight us about it all instead. I'm so tired of hearing the word gaslight, by the way. The lingo, it's just getting old.
How does that, there's nothing, I'm on a one-man jihad against buzzwords, and that is the number one word. But here's the thing here. They cloak it in some type of, not only is everyone else bad, but they're virtuous and strong and standing up for good, all that is good, right, and honorable, and it makes me sick to my stomach, because they're just bullies. Mm-hmm. They're just bullies, dude. It's so...
I think that, I've said this, Jamil has done more to deteriorate civility on the internet than any of the people who are in her comments making fun of her.
And look, I'm not making light. We weren't making light of suicide or people with any type of who are struggling. If you are struggling with those types of thoughts, if you are struggling with thoughts like that of self-harm, seek help as best you can. Lean on the people in your life that matter to you, the people in your life that care. This is not that.
I just think that when someone says it on
clout.
social media,
it's for clout from her.
Often when it's someone with a pattern of behavior for antagonizing groups of people on the internet and grandstanding on the internet, you're bringing it up not for awareness purposes, but for self-pity and clout.
So it's like, I guess... I remember when the word jihad used to mean something. They're also saying jihad is a buzzword. Okay, fair enough. I guess. Fair enough. Look, it's just, there's nothing I hate more than cry bullies. The person who screams out in pain as they punch you in the face. That is the worst of the worst, because that's what virtue signaling is for a lot of cases. Like, what is it? Was it Elon Musk that said woke ideology is just an excuse to be awful to people and cloak it in false virtue? That's all it is. People have found a way that they can treat other people like an other, treat other people like they're evil, and this is just their way of going into it further.
Yeah, it's so
and turning
common.
it into money.
Yeah, it's so common with Hollywood personalities like Amber Heard, for instance.
Yep.
Sometimes,
or Emrata and Bella Thorne and Meghan Markle. Those are the ones that come to the off the top of my head is Meghan Markle.
Sometimes Hollywood narcissists are able to function enough that they still have fans. And I think Amber Heard is an example of someone who just didn't bottle it up quite enough. She didn't skillfully cloak her narcissism with altruism well enough.
I don't even know if you can do, maybe it's just because we're sensitive to the topic. I don't know if you can do it well. Like, it always comes across.
Meghan Markle has millions of people that support her.
It always comes across as
millions of people that see everything she does as good. I don't know how she does it, but that's what happens when you walk in lockstep with the media and make the media work for you, which never used to be the way that Hollywood and the media function together.
Well, because the media was designed as a pushback against the celebrities, right? They're the ones who kept the celebrities honest, at least in some respects. The paparazzi.
I mean, not even kept them honest, but just allowed us to have our bread in circuses instead of making fun of us and making us why are we the bad guys now in this narrative?
2, 1.
Thank you.
Do you have big New Year's plans?
New Year's plans? I don't think so.
Nothing fun?
No. I mean, I don't even know what the point is of staying up anymore.
That was kind of like what we were talking about yesterday. Is like millennials are like, I go to bed early. I don't go out on Friday nights. I stay in. Okay, I don't go have fun.
I'm not doing that.
Going to have fun are for people that didn't know about climate change.
Okay, I promise to have fun and go out on New Year's Eve. Is that what you wanted, Brett?
Yes, it is. Only people who don't care about the environment go out and have fun.
Brett, you are that person. Yes. I probably go out way more than you.
Yes, probably.
And I don't even go out.
Yeah, but I'm older than you, so I have.
So you're allowed.
I have slightly more of an excuse.
You earned it.
I have more of an excuse.
Fine, you can vicariously live your fun New Year's plans through me.
Perfect. You can send pictures of all the fun. Like, what do you do for fun out here? Like,
we're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Go to Washington. Chat? Do they do anything in Washington D.C. for New Year's other than rip people off for their tax money?
Nope. Can't think of anything.
They go spend your money. That's what they do.
DC is definitely not like the fun city to live in.
Also, somebody in the comments says, love the self-righteous Halo. It is self-righteous. Also, I mean, she is attractive when she's not making this face. I do.
No, she's attractive. She just doesn't do herself any favors with her personality.
No, she's
like Amber Heard. There are so many wasted cases of hot ladies just being annoying on the internet for no reason. Emrata is one of them. There's way too many cases.
Why do you think that is?
So, very sad. You hate to see it.
I watched a great video earlier about it was that video I showed you that the lady who explains where the quote the real etymology of the quote well-behaved women rarely make history, and how it wasn't a Marilyn Monroe quote, it was from another author. And that was very interesting to see her explain, like, we don't actually celebrate normal behavior. Like, we don't actually celebrate, like, the unsung heroes of the world, like a woman who just goes to her job, raises her kids, is a good person.
I think that, that line actually, not only was it not said by Marilyn Monroe, but it was made to praise the women who don't end up in history books because what they do is, like, the most honest and not talked about work, which is like raising the generations.
Maybe there's just kind of like a weird gap here for me. Like, I want, like, that's what I like. I like the people that just live a quiet life, but that's not our job. Isn't to talk about the people that live a quiet life
or be one of those people,
or be like, I mean, I'd like to think that for the most part I live fairly quietly outside of the job. Like, I don't feel like I do a lot. Like, I post a lot about skating, but that's like as inoffensive as anything could be. Like, and it's my own stuff. I'm not talking about other people's skating or things like that.
I think that what we do, like, in a very small way, is like a drop in the bucket to make the internet a little bit more of a fun place.
I would also like to feel like that we would at least be able to provide a little bit more nuance than is usually provided for most things. Like, the internet doesn't really reward nuance. It rewards hot takes and the most extreme opinions possible for the most part.
I don't know.
It's one of the reasons I do like Joe Rogan is because there's a lot of nuance to the discussions he has. You just have to be willing to listen to 3 hours.
Long form content is the thing right now.
Yeah.
That means that people actually do want nuance.
I guess social media does not reward nuance. Would be the better take. Like,
maybe not TikTok.
Like, here's the thing.
But I like TikTok for what it is, and I like a podcast like Joe Rogan for what it is.
Andrew Tate has actual nuanced opinions on stuff that aren't awful, but that's not what people see of him. They see the ridiculous clips that are taken as hot takes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not rewarded for having nuance in short form media like TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah, but I also don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
it's just having a hot take. Like, I don't think that's harmful,
I guess it's just like one of those things for like a Jameela Jamil. It's like, you can't get over it. Like, we know she is kind of the same type of fast food that I think of as like an Emrata or a Meghan Markle. I don't consider most of their opinions even worthy of discussion. Like, this is a rare example. Like, even this, I don't know. Like, this is barely something. Where
and Julia Fox.
Or Julia Fox, she's worse. She might be worse than all of them. But it is all like it's all the lowest common denominator opinions about stuff that's just designed to make people angry.
And also, in that same clip from Emrata's podcast, her and Bella Thorne start talking about how scary it is to think about raising a daughter in this day and age. And you have to tell her that every time she leaves the house, she might get R-worded. Like, you are not in the mental state to be raising a child if you have such a precarious mindset about the world. Yep. And if you don't instill actually in your child that they are capable of protecting and defending and speaking out for themselves, and you don't instill in them a very strong instinct towards protecting themselves and taking responsibility for themselves, they clearly view the world in such a doomsday light.
One of the worst things that I've ever, like, one of the things that became a kind of a tipping point for me when it came to paying attention to the culture war and everything, beyond just like, I took a perverse interest in how comics have deteriorated in the same way that games journalism did in the film industry. But for me, it was, I was out back in Minnesota and I was at work and I was helping someone outside, and a lady walked by with a shirt on. She was walking with her child, and she was wearing a shirt that said "All men are rapists." Mm-hmm. She had a daughter.
It's like shocking.
I
don't even think that that's something that you should wear in public. Like that's.
It blew my mind. Like I was like, first, like, and that's bad either way, right? If that's a daughter, you're raising her to be terrified of half the population. If that's a boy, you're raising him to be ashamed of who he is. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way the culture is run. It's because of people like Julia Fox that shirt exists. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.